I'm Cris LaNiese, and I'm a visual artist. I took art classes. I went to the School of the Arts in high school for creative writing and visual arts. Writing was definitely more of my passion then. Poetry, short stories, things like that. And that's how I kind of like got into it. I've always been like one to just like doodle it out, you know. College, you know, I'm drawing stuff for people, making small gifts. It didn't really become like a lifestyle or a full-out passion until I was an adult, until I was, you know, I was probably like 23, 24 when I sold my first painting. I did everything traditionally. I went to school, finished, got a corporate America job. Hated my corporate America job. Like, I literally felt like a fish in a fishbowl. And I think I took for granted how long I've been creative. You know, like my whole life, my family's always, hey, you know, you're good at this, you know, stuff like that. And that's why I did start painting. And my husband was the one who was like, yo, just paint something, like do it as a hobby, you know, because we got married super young, super spontaneously. We never dated, we just got married. So it's like, we're married, we're corporate. It's like our lives have just changed. And he's like, it doesn't have to be all that, just paint. And I painted, and I'll never forget this. I put the painting on Instagram because I was so pleased with myself. Like, I was like, this looks good. And people were in my comments. I don't even think we had DMs then. Like, and people were in my comments like, I want this painting. Like, how much is it? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, and when that happened, I remember that night, like my husband was like, let's put it on eBay for $1,000. And so he's like, if it sells for $1,000, this is what you're doing. And we put it on eBay, and of course it didn't sell for $1,000. But I did end up selling the painting because somebody was just very adamant about wanting it. When I was in school, I thought I was gonna be a diplomat. So I moved, like I was gonna be at the student government, president of this, president of that, debate team, Model United Nations. And I knew going into my senior year that I didn't want to do those things, but that was my image. And, you know, I stuck with it. Like, I remember in school, everybody's like, you're the next Soledad O'Brien. And I'm like, okay. Like, you know, it was like things like that. And so then like I worked in my corporate job for like maybe a year after finishing school. And I remember going ghost on Facebook, like when I quit. I remember never posting my art on Facebook. Like and to this day, I still don't really have a Facebook presence either. I remember I would only post it on Instagram. I remember not posting that I was bartending because I was kind of like ashamed of bartending. I was unhappy. And I was like, man, I want to do something about it. But I did at the time still care what other people thought about me. Because I didn't want people to think I was this failure. Like, and it was an easy lesson in like expectations we have of ourselves. Recently, in the past year, I've been doing acrylic and oil. And what I do is I do the whole painting in acrylic, give it like a full out couple base coats of acrylic. And then I go back over the painting in oil to make it more luminous, to make it more pop. I've recently like just kind of got into it. One of my good friends who's an artist, her name's Felicia, she's out of Indianapolis, but she's the one who's always been like, Cris, you gotta get into oil, you gotta get into oil. The thing is with oil takes so long to dry, and I'm so impatient about it that I have to start off with acrylic. Like I have to start, let me just lay the base, like let me just get this part down. But I would like to move into, you know, full oil painting soon. Like I would, like I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable in it to where it's like I'm okay, I can move with this a little bit, and I'm learning how to blend it better with different mediums too, so it can dry a little bit quicker. The way oil moves is so different, but I think I've like not mastered, but I've really got a lot of control with acrylic as well. But when you put that oil on top, it just makes it pop so nice. Like before you even varnish it, it's just like, this shit looks good. I've worked in charcoal before, charcoal school, charcoal pastels. I don't know if I would ever like produce work that I really like in charcoals and pastels. I don't think I'll ever work in watercolor. It's not my thing. It really isn't my thing at all. Like I'm not a watercolor girl. But I do want to get into like more of like the mixed media collage art that you see a lot of people do. I think some of those look so dope. I would like to start like incorporating that in some of my work as well. But watercolor is like the only one that I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm good. I think this current series, the series I've been working on, Children in the Now, is my most detailed work. I think if you look at some work before then, I really just focus on the subjects, and then for the background, I would be like, I'll throw some flowers on it. It's like I didn't really care. I was just trying to push out paintings. But when I got pregnant and I was like, I want this art to represent my daughter, I wanted to be real. I wanted my art to tell full stories. Like I was like, I want my art to be full stories. Like I want people to look at it and be like, I know exactly what's going on. So I took my time with it, and then when it started to gain a bigger buzz and I'm speaking to different gallery owners, art enthusiasts, you know, they're honest. They tell you like, this is your strength, the details in your work. My style is a full story style. When I paint a painting, what I do is, if I see a subject, I know the subjects, I reach out, hey, I love this picture of you. I would love to paint it. I'm gonna alter it just as a heads up. Are you okay with that? Yes. I illustrate it first. It saves me so much time. I illustrate it first, figure out the colors I wanna go with. Then I sketch it out in my notebook. Then I try to blend the colors together to figure out, okay, Cris, what are we matching it? Like, you know. And so every single piece I have has an illustration to it, because that's, you know, it just saves me time. So every single piece I have has an illustration. I thought maybe like releasing a coloring book or something. I don't know. Like I have all these illustrations I don't even touch, to be honest. Every single piece has an illustration to it. I don't illustrate the backgrounds, just the subjects, but I do want to incorporate the two more. I just haven't found out the perfect way to do it yet. I think I price my art to get it off. I do think that, you know, because I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna make more art. So what's the point of me holding on to it? I'm just now understanding the value in actually putting real value in the price of the art, even if it might hold on. Like, you know, you have longer times for different galleries to hang it, more people to see the original, put more value into your prints, do small, you know, modifications to your prints so you can price them up a little bit more. I'm just now getting into like that these past couple years. The business part always sucks being an artist. I always say, like, especially me, my mind really doesn't operate that way. I'm definitely one of those people who I only paint Black people. And I also think that if I have a voice and it's being heard through my art, I should show what doesn't get heard. And I quote Nina Simone all the time that like an artist's duty is to like reflect the times and reflect their stories. I think for a long time before making this series, I always wanted to show like the grit and like maybe some of the truth. But it's been so refreshing just painting joyful Black art. I think for an artist to truly thrive, you do have to be like a little bit to yourself, but you have to have a community that makes you better. It's the only way possible. Like people who like you, they're just gonna like your stuff. They're gonna like it, especially people who don't like, aren't really into art. They're gonna like whatever you put out there. But your artist communities are gonna be the ones that tell you, like, it's so funny because Floyd Strickland, I was working on this painting and he told me, he was like, Cris, that man's foot's backwards. I was like, huh? And I looked and I was like, oh my God. And I did it in the mirror. I held up my kid and I was like, but everybody else, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. He's like, Cris, that man's foot's backwards. I'm like, they correct you. It's constructive criticism. It all helps you grow. And I don't think you have to have thick skin to be in an artist community. I think you just have to have like an open heart. And I think having that open heart and that open mind has really, really helped out my art. I just want people to smile. Like really, I just want them to feel it. Like I just want them to like feel it, love it, like just be obsessed with it. Like that's really all I really like care about. Like I just want, if you're in a gallery and I'm hanging in there in a group exhibition, I just want you to keep coming to my piece. Like that's really, like I just wanted to draw you in. Like I want you to think about it when you get home. Like, that's really, because I feel like when you have that lingering effect, you're remembered. My name is Cris LaNiese. I'm a visual artist. This is my voice, and this is my life.